Hey, Jim, how are you?
Not too
Local
bad.
boy first, we'll take it.
Congratulations. Okay.
Hey, thank you.
You got your first one in 19, and then this is your third time back consecutive to, third time's a charm. I guess that's a good thing.
Hey, we'll take it, yes.
How's this one feel for you compared to 19?
It's great. I mean, winning this, it's for the kids. It's not about me, it's about these guys up here, all their hard work, all their efforts. Just so excited and happy for them, and the fact that they put all this hard work in and it paid off. And we're sitting here today with smiles on our faces.
Dude,
So it's exciting.
Is there something poetic about it, being here last year, getting shut out, and then to pitch a shutout on defense against a team like that?
It was our first shutout all year.
Wow.
So to pitch it here is pretty special. Defense played lights out. Offense moved the ball well enough, made plays enough times to put points on the board, and that was the recipe. Minimize turnovers and mistakes, and we came out on top, which was unbelievable.
How much do you think that opening kickoff return kind of set the tone for you
Hey,
guys today?
anytime you can get a short field, that's advantage. Bell Vernon did that to us last year, and that set the tone for that game. They had some special players. Take nothing away from them. They were pretty talented. But yeah, that opening kickoff is huge to get a short field, and we put it down and put it in. 7-0 was huge.
Speaking of that kick return, I mean, what is it about Cooper Sharding in these championship games, whether it's baseball or football, that he just rises to the occasion?
Hey, I tell people all the time, we are successful because we get our athletes to play. Cooper Sharding's a baseball player. He's also a football player. Mason Metz is a baseball player, also a football player. Justin Beck is a soccer player. He is also a football player. I mean, all of our kids, we share our athletes at Avonworth, and Cooper just steps up in big games, and that was huge.
I'm sure you were happy with how the defense played, obviously, but is there some anxiety when you score 2 points or 10 points on your first two drives and then nothing happens essentially?
I mean, you're not comfortable up 10-0, but it's don't make mistakes, don't turn the ball over, just keep status quo. And kudos to them. That's a great football team we beat. A great football team. They've had 4 or 5 losses, but the 4 and 5A teams, Mark does a great job. They're well coached. I mean, they shut us down inside after that first couple drives, and we got a few plays on the outside later, but they were tough, physical, and well coached. So it was a battle. It was a battle for 4 quarters.
How much did familiarity, do you think, play a role in this game, considering your conference rivals? You played already this year. You've probably played, I think, 5 times in the last 4 years, so you know each other well, especially the guys that have been there the last couple of years. I mean, how much of that was part of the chess match, you think?
A little bit. You know what they're going to bring. I mean, I told people all week long it was going to be a heavy dose of 4, 2, 5, and 7. Our 2 guys and their 2 guys, and that's what it was tonight. And we came out on top. We moved the ball a little bit better, put some points up, and it was a great game.
Coach, you guys were able to limit Mason Dixon and Chance Henry tonight. What was the key behind that?
These guys right here, for the 11 on defense, they just, read their keys. They knew the assignments that they had to execute, and they executed them. They were in the right spot at the right time, and they made great plays all night.
Nico, did you wake up this morning with plans of rushing for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, a fumble recovery, and a WPIL title, or what?
I think I just came ready to go now. I think our whole team came ready to go. We dominated the line of scrimmage, and running behind that line, it makes my job pretty easy, so just credit to them.
And Nico, when you make it 2 years in a row and you don't win, you're coming back for a 3rd year. I'm sure you think, well, maybe next year, then you start to run out of time. What was it like to finally put everything together and get over the hump this year?
I mean, we were itching to get back here. I mean, we knew if we worked hard, we would get back to this place. I mean, we were familiar. We're not blinded by the lights anymore, so we knew we were going to come in. We all did our job and we dominated, so I was happy to come out with the dub.
Nico, I know you've been banged up a little bit throughout the season, throughout even the last couple of weeks, and even today twice, it looked like you went down with injuries. How are you feeling now, and what gave you the willingness to keep going for your team?
Yeah, I'm definitely sore right now, but just being the last 2 years playing with my brother, I just really want to get back out here, finish the job, and we did, so I'm just really happy and excited.
Luke, on those 2 touchdown drives, you guys, it was you and him and you. What was it like to have that combination on the biggest stage?
It's actually really cool. Not many people get the opportunity to play with their brothers, so I think we're both just trying to make the most of it and make a run.
And then for anybody, in the first half, Central Valley, 3 of their first 4 drives ended on downs. So obviously you guys came up big on 4th and inches. I mean, did you guys have a good idea of what to prepare for in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, their heavy set's been working all through the playoffs. We knew it was coming. We had personnel changes come out, and it was just head-to-head football. And who hits harder line of scrimmage? We stuck them twice on 4th and 1, and that tells a story.
For any of the players, what were you guys able to do defensively to limit them?
I think just our scheme, our game plan was perfect. Everyone did their job, gap sound football, and when everyone does their job, like, we're gonna come out with the win. So that's how we came out with the shutout too.
Did you guys change anything from the first time you played it?
Not much, but just trusting your teammates. We've grown up with each other, we trust each other. So I think like that's a pretty big advantage we have on the other teams.
And like he was saying, how good does it feel to end on a shutout win instead of a shutout loss?
It feels great. Just absolute perfection, execution on defense. Nothing's better than a shutout. So defense wins championships for sure.
Duke, earlier in the season, I mean, you lose to a great Aliquippa team. I mean, you get a couple early season losses, and I think people drop you out of the rankings, right? I mean, was there a point in the season where you kind of rallied together and said, all right, everyone's down us, but we're just going to prove them all wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people were doubting us. I mean, I think those 2 games, I mean, you look at, TJ's playing next week, so that tells you how good of a football team they are. 7 was not in uniform that night. He went out in the first quarter against Aliquippa, so that tells you a story right there. We lost our corner, we lost our starting receiver, so we were extremely banged up. In the Aliquippa game, we lost 6 starting positions during that game, and none of them played the following week, so we were banged up. And Nico did not return until Central Valley?
Yeah.
He did not play until the Central Valley game when we played them the first time. So we talk about preserving our kids and minimizing injuries, and that's part of my philosophy. And so we did what we had to do to be here, and we're healthy, and we're playing great football. So that's awesome.
And the last time you won in 2019, I believe you're the 1 or the 2 seed. You were undefeated, and this time around there was a 5.
Yeah, we've never been the 1 seed, but that's beside the
But
point.
yeah, I think Washington was the 1. But yeah, so you were the 5 seed this time, though. You had to beat a Beaver team that had beaten you the week before just to get to the semifinals, and then did you feel like you had to overcome more obstacles this time?
Oh, absolutely. I'll put it on record. The last 2 years, the bracket's been stacked on our side, taking nothing away from the other teams in the playoffs. Amani, Beaver, Central Valley, and Avonworth were the 4 best teams, and we had to play 2 of them on our side of the bracket to get here. And that's what it was. We're happy to be here. We're happy we had to beat the best other 3 teams, and we came out on top.
Was this week's preparation any different than the past 2 years?
No. Yes and no. I mean, you're looking at the Bell Vernon team. They had speed and Penn State recruit, and they had a quarterback going to Eastern Michigan. So yes, in that regard, personnel-wise, but we don't change much. We do our thing. We come out, Monday's routine, Tuesday's routine, and the kids know it, and they buy into it, and we get after it. So,
Duke, what did you take away from the 2 losses that you used today? The 2 Whitfield championship losses that you used today?
Just familiarity, like Nico said. He said, Coach, this feels a lot different. He said, we feel relaxed. We feel ready to go. Against Bell Vernon, they're 2-time state champions for a reason. They were an unbelievable. We knew that we could not make any mistakes and beat that football team. We played great football the last 2 years, but we made a few mistakes, and they got us both years. We knew this game was a grudge match, and it was going to be a battle down the stretch, and we knew it was going to be a 50-50 ball game, and we were fortunate to get that kickoff return and get things rolling and play great defense and come out on top. So we knew this one was going to be a heated contest, where we could afford to maybe make a mistake and still win the game.
Dude, you lost some of your best skilled guys from the last couple of years, Andrew Kuban and Biagirelli, but do you feel like the line and the guys in the trenches really, set the tone and laid the foundation for this team this year?
Oh, absolutely. These guys buy into what we do. Our strength and conditioning coach, Phil Coughlin, does a great job with them. They work super hard. They're committed to each other. I said we preach family all the time. We're a tight knit group. We're a community team, and we love each other. And that's part of it. We talk about family.
Mason, what are you going to remember most about this season and your career at Avonworth?
Obviously, winning the Whitfield championship is one thing, but one key thing that stuck with me is just how we were as a team when we were down, losing those 2 straight games down with TJ, and be able to come out in here and do this. For us to go out and lose 2 straight games by 80-something points, which is more than all we let up last year, and to still come out, battle, and beat some of the best teams and get to the Whitfield and win the Whitfield, feels great. And that's one of my favorite things that stuck with this team.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about our word of the year. We do a character word of the week each week, and the main word for the year was adversity. And the guy sitting at the end is another one of our captains, Nick Engelmore, a highly profiled college recruit. We lost him in week 0. And Mason was going to play H-back. And he said, I'm ready for 54 again, Coach. Mason was number 10 at the beginning of the season. And we lost Nick in the week 0 game, and he's been unbelievable. He's fought through adversity. Imagine if we had that guy on the line, what it would look like. It's fortunate to have a team that buys in and fights together and bonds together and picks the slack up where injuries lie, and they fill in the gaps for each other. So it's been a special year. And Nick's been unbelievable. I mean, his heart's bleeding right now, but he's happy as could be for his teammates. But inside, he's wishing he could be out there. He's got his cleats on. He's ready to go.
Coach, maybe what's something you learned this week or even this year that you can apply to next week or for your further playoff games?
Just being resilient, just being ready to go, and just that we can play with anybody. Scheme up and play together and listen to your coaching, and we'll see what Penn Cambria has for us. I mean, I don't know anything about them. I was planning on seeing Hickory, but it's Penn Cambria, so we'll see what they have. So we're in Norwin Friday night at 7. So good.